So 2 days ago on Tuesday, the iPhone 13 was released, and you might be getting all ready to trade in and get this new phone. But maybe you shouldn't. Just wait and watch this video first. So what's the difference between the iPhone 12 and 13, and what else better here? So I'm just going to go through everything that's different, all of their specs pretty much, iPhone 13, and then I'll talk about should you get it, should you upgrade, and then also which one should you get. So the iPhone 13 looks about the same as last year's. We got some cool new colors. We got pink for the iPhone 13 and 13 mini, and a Sierra blue for the iPhone 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max. But other than that, it's a lot the same, other than also a smaller notch. So it's 20% smaller. I went over this in my video the other day. So yeah, a little bit smaller, which is pretty cool, and you still can't see the battery percentage, even though they could easily fit it in there. So one thing that people have been wondering about is if their iPhone 12 cases will be compatible, and no. So the iPhone 12 and 13s are almost exactly the same. All of them, they're just, the 13s are a little bit bigger, like just a little bit, and it's enough that most cases probably will not fit the 13s, which is kind of just dumb. And on the 13 Pro Max, the camera bump is quite a bit bigger than on the 12 Pro Max, so those definitely won't fit. Some of the others, you might be able to get it to fit on some cases, but it's designed a little different and not made to fit. So we got some new displays on these phones. The iPhone 13 mini has a 5.4-inch display. The iPhone 13 and 13 Pro get 6.1-inch displays, and the Pro Max has a 6.7-inch display. All of these got, obviously, the smaller notch and slightly better brightness and just a little bit of an update. And the iPhone 13 Pro and Pro Max have what Apple's calling ProMotion, so basically 120 hertz variable refresh rate, so the phone will be able to decide if you need that high refresh rate. So if you're not really doing anything, it'll just turn it down to 10%. If you're just reading a message, whatever, it'll take it down to 10 hertz. And then if you're scrolling or watching a movie or video or whatever, it can go all the way up to 120 hertz. So one other update for the iPhone 13s is 5G. Basically, they made the 5G a little bit better, and they're supporting more carriers and regions with their 5G. So for the cameras, the iPhone 13 and 13 mini have basically the same camera setup. They have a wide and ultra wide. So both the cameras are 12 megapixels, and the ultra wide has a 120 degree field of view, so you can get those really wide photos. The iPhone 13s have 2x optical zoom out and up to 5 times digital zoom in, so you can get pretty up close with the iPhone 13s. They also have HDR4 with Dolby Vision up to 4K at 60 frames per second. And then one of the coolest features is cinematic mode. So basically this will let you shoot videos that look a lot better when the subject turns away to look at something else. It can autofocus on the background and then back into the foreground again. I think it's really cool, and also after you shoot it, you can change it then, and you can also change the focus during the shot. They both have a 12 megapixel selfie camera, standard, nothing too great there. They can also record slow-mo at 1080p up to 240 frames per second with their main cameras, and up to 120 frames per second on the selfie camera. So on the 13 and 13 Pro Max, the actual camera's a little different. They're still all 12 megapixel, but we get a telephoto, ultra wide and wide. Other than that, we just have bigger sensors, so it's going to look a lot better. But yeah, a lot the same. So with that telephoto, we can have up to 3 times optical zoom in and up to 15 times digital zoom in. Obviously at that point, the photos aren't going to look that good anymore, but if you need to, you can. The Pros also have a LiDAR scanner, so this will work a lot better with AR, 3D, autofocus, stuff like that. We also had it last year. It's a pretty cool feature. Another interesting thing is macro photography. So normally you need a dedicated camera for this, but we can do it on the iPhone 13 with its main camera somehow. You can take photos of stuff from up to 2 centimeters away, so that's pretty close, and it's still really detailed. And then as far as all the features and stuff for the cameras, everything else is a lot the same. However, we will be seeing ProRes later this fall. This will only be on the Pros, and basically it'll be a better, more advanced codec for videos that more professionals can use, and will take up a lot more space on your phone, which is nice because we can get a terabyte of storage on the iPhone Pro models. There's no more 64 gigabyte iPhones at all. Even the iPhone 13 and 13 mini are starting at 128, then going to 256 and 512. The iPhone 13 Pros starting at 128, 256, 512 gigabyte, and then 1 terabyte. So that's pretty cool. So that's honestly a lot of the features. The cameras are probably the biggest upgrade from last year, but even then, it's still not that great. I mean, yeah, it's better, but if you have a 12, there's no reason whatsoever to upgrade. Cameras are almost just as good, and are probably worth waiting until next year. For the price, the iPhone 13 mini is starting at $699, and the iPhone 13 at $799, so it's the exact same price as last year, actually. So the iPhone 13 Pro starting at $999, and then the Pro Max at $1099. So, should you buy it? Probably not. If you have an iPhone 12 or even an 11, and you're fine with it, if it still works great, just wait. We've heard rumors that next year with the iPhone 14, we're going to see some big upgrades. So maybe just hold up till then. Next year we should be seeing a little bit more of a redesign. No notch, which is really cool. And so if you should upgrade, if you have a phone older than the 12, or if your phone is broken or something, and if you're not too worried about spending some money, go ahead and get it. There's still going to be a lot of people buying this, no matter how many people online say don't buy it, because you probably should not buy this unless you have a legitimate reason. You have an older phone or a phone that's not working properly. Now, if you're going to buy one, which one should you get? Now, if you have a broken phone and you really just want to have a good upgrade and you would be thinking about getting the 14 next year, maybe stick to the 13 mini or the 13. They're both priced really good. By next year, you could probably sell it. iPhones hold their value very well, so you can sell it for however much next year if it's still in good condition, and get the 14. Now, if you just want to have the best phone out there and don't really care how much it's going to cost or whatever, you just want to get a new phone, go for the Pro or Pro Max. Really, the only benefit with the Pro Max is that it's going to have some slightly better cameras. Not much. The inside's exactly the same. So maybe just hold off on buying it unless you really want to. That's all I have. Subscribe to Technoblade, and I'll see you later.